So how you doing, guys, and welcome. It is Kraken here, and we're back with another 7 days update. Yes, this is the update video for 1.0, and we've got a hell of a lot to cover. So without further ado, make sure you've liked, subscribed. We are going to be a part of Streamer Weekend, and we've got the release dates as well for the Streamer Weekend. So make sure you've liked and subscribed. So let's get cracking.
So, everybody, we can look at the random gen previewer. It's, if I can actually click it. Ooh, it looks kind of fancy now. So we have biome layouts now. You can, as usual... Oh, hold on. I was told to point this out. Burnt Forest is back.
Right, straight off the bat, we're going to look at the new random world generator preview. And the first thing to notice about that, which they have spoken about, is that the Burnt Forest is back in the game. We haven't had that for a couple of alphas, but now that is back in there. What's quite interesting though is what level it's actually going to be. I thought it was going to be probably just before the wasteland, but by the looks of it, it's actually going to be the second biome that you go into. So when you go through your different progressions, like the desert biome, the snow biome, and then finally the wasteland biome, it looks like the burnt forest is actually going to be in between pine forest and the desert. So that's quite interesting. So hopefully that's going to work really well. The burnt forest used to always be quite plain and bare bones, so hopefully they've added some more to the old burnt forest that we know from back in the day. The random world generator though is working really fast. It's looking like 45 seconds to 60 seconds to actually generate a whole new world.
And so it'll progress from the least difficult to the most difficult biomes in a layer cake. They don't get travel fatigue if they don't have like a helicopter on the...
So just a quick thing to mention there, they mentioned a helicopter, and they actually mentioned the helicopter a couple of times in the stream, so we might be looking at a whole new vehicle.
So light blue is rural district, yellow is industrial, darker blue I think is commercial, gray is downtown, and green is residential.
So
red
those.
is traders, white
So
is wilderness. And there's improved road smoothing, way more wilderness POIs in the world, larger cities.
So, you know, we've done a ton of work to progression, like Rick said. Some of the biggest thing that stuck out to me was how, you know, I got a trader reward one day, and it was like, okay, I just went from a brown pipe shotgun to like a purple pump shotgun, and I skipped 2 whole tiers, and I was like, we got to fix this. So we really took a big look at real close look at trader rewards, and we tuned those in. They're not as good now as what they were. So if you're expecting to get all this crazy rewards, no. And we kind of cut the amount of dukes you get in half, and so part of it was the economy.
So the Fun Pimps have tried to do this in nearly every single version of 7 days that they've released, nearly every single alpha. The pipe weapons were a big thing that they did to try and prolong the game, but by the looks of it, they've really done that. So they mentioned the dukes have been cut in half, and the trader rewards are going to be a lot less. So by day 21 Horde, you would have top level or top tier weapons. Now they're saying that will be closer to day 50 and beyond that. So they're just basically stretching the game out, which is all good for us because it just means that we play for a little bit longer.
For certain now that there's no overlaps in any guns. So when you go from a quality 6 stone axe into your first crude quality the brown pickaxe, the pickaxe is always better. So there's not any of this overlap anymore. There was a slight bit of overlap before. But so the progression on the items is more linear and more consistent across the board now too.
When I heard this made me very happy. There was nothing worse than having a level 6 stone shovel that was better than an iron tool until you got to about a level 3 or level 4. So when you do get to the better quality items, it's always going to be worth upgrading to them.
We touched the trader biomes order, so Rect is in the forest, Jen is in burnt, Bob is in the desert, he was in snow, and Joel's in the wasteland. and that's the opening trade routes. I think was what we called it historically.
Right, and they will always send you to the next biome now. So the progression is very predictable. Instead of, oh, I'm just got sent to Trader Rec number 2 in the same biome. It doesn't do that anymore. So it's always going to go, Rec will send you to Jen sends you to Bob sends you to Hugh, and Hugh sends you to Joel.
So they're just mentioning that there's going to be different traders in every single biome, which is going to be quite nice, and they will always send you to the next biome to meet the next trader. One thing I did notice when they were playing the game a lot later actually in the stream is that now you can't actually choose which job you want to do. Rather than there being a list of different jobs, there's only going to be one to pick. So that means they might actually start you might actually have to take the next job, which could actually be a nighttime job. So they might have done that to actually add them into the game, because we didn't really use them before because there was no real rewards for doing a nighttime quest. Something to bear in mind. Another point to mention is that they're going back to the old system with the traders and the trader quests. So whereas when you met a new trader, you had to start from tier 1 quests and build your way back up, now that is not the case. We're going back to the old way of doing it, that you actually build up the level of the quest with the traders. But obviously this time you're now going to a new biome, so the quest might actually be harder to do, but you can still pick and choose which level quest you want to do. But if you've completed level 1 quest with Rect and you're then going to meet Jen, you'll be able to start doing level 2 quests with Jen, but you might have to jump them back down to level 1 because you're going to be in a slightly harder biome.
Real quick, let's just show
options.
Yeah, click through some of these. We showed this last stream, but these are some of the presets that are being worked on to show you how much variety. Now these are not mix and match at this point. I think these are full character sets, right? Most of them, and most of them don't have their headgear.
Yeah, these look like full sets for the most part.
With minus headgear,
minus the helmet, just so you can see their face, obviously.
Now, I know most of you have already seen these, and they did talk about bringing in these new character costumes. I think it was Alpha 19 we first started covering this, but this is just quickly showing you a load of the presets that they've already made for characters. So if you don't want to spend the time actually making your own character up, they have made a load of presets there for you. Right, now we're going to get on to the really fun part of the video, which is POIs. So I'm going to quickly jump through these so you get to see a bit of the new POIs, but they have confirmed there's going to be 5 brand new tier 5 POIs and 6 tier 4 POIs. There is actually going to be 75 added POIs to this alpha, which means there'll be 750 different POIs locations actually in the game, which is one hell of a number now. To be fair, nearly every single time that I've done a playthrough, I do find some new POIs that I've never actually ever seen before. So this is just prolonging again the enjoyment of playing 7 Days to Die every single time that you play it.
Okay, so this is designed to fill the gap in schools that we've had, and it's also a tier 5, which he wanted to school, and this is Eric von Rothkirch's work. He's a colleague that's I've worked with him for years, and he's does amazing work. He always seems to surprise me what can be done with the voxel engine with his work. And this is a tier 5 that's coming.
Well, yeah, you're in God mode, right?
Oh,
oh no. Okay.
Run in and punch him in the
so
face.
Gonna go in there with fists and just,
more than 75 new POIs coming to 1.0. 5 new tier 5s. We have 2 hotels, Haven Hotels and 7 Day Suites. A football stadium we're going to show part of in a bit here. School 03, which we're looking at currently, Theater Stage 01, which is the Minotaur Theater, which is one of my personal favorites. There's 6 tier 4s, but there's over 75 new POIs coming to 1.0.
Now I could be wrong, and maybe these were added in 21, but I'm seeing a lot of roadside. I think they're roadside tiles and they have like water features. Like we ran into this bridge that had a big chunk blown out and it was all clogged up with cars, and that was kind of like a building opportunity and it's all surrounded by like a river or lake. I mean, and so you either have to drive around it or clear it and then rebuild it, and that's what we did because we got tired of driving around it. And there's like zombies spawning, and I've seen several of these. So they're like small things, but to me they're kind of a really big thing. They're super cool and add a lot of immersion on your travels, like the roadside checkpoints. Those are super cool too, and a big pain in the butt until you kind of like go in and clear it, and then you can open it up and then pass through it.
I know I've added a few new tiles to this build cycle, and I don't have those in front of me, and they're continuing to add new ones as they see like opportunities and ideas that come up that, you know, allow those things to happen. You know, overpasses, underpasses. Yeah, there's a one with a waterway you're talking about that might be new.
Okay, now I might be going too far. Let me just jump out the window.
Yeah, I think we played this the other day. It was pretty cool.
It's called the Minotaur. If you go up and look at the sign.
Yeah.
So this is designed to be kind of a retro theater that you might see that it's a tier 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, that looks, wow. Looks really good.
Yeah, I think I was blown away by all the theater seating when we got into that.
It looks great.
Area. Like, whoa, this is just so cool.
This stage and theater seating, I think you could fly in and give them a tease of that aspect if you want. Keep going. So there's so if you go down there, you can see there's a little kind of old.
There you go.
Really nice theater seating. It has, you know.
I'm not turning around. There's some cool thing happened, and I don't want to spoil it. But hey, there's theater seating, everybody. Anyway,
the stage is exciting and cool, and the player can, you know, get to enjoy that and navigate around in that, you know, when they encounter the Minotaur. Oh, look at that bad boy, the 7 Days Suites.
Oh, that's so awesome looking.
I want to stay there.
Yeah.
Build it, and they will come.
Except for when that scary event happens that I can't talk about.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe it's not scary. Maybe it's a good event.
What's going on?
Yeah, something was happening. I didn't want to stare at it. I'm trying not to give anything away as we look at these. But as you can tell, everybody, the level designers have added a lot of cool events that happen using the trigger system. So
the trigger system has gotten more love and has even more flexibility, and the guys have gotten even better at using it. So
yeah,
nice.
That wasn't stability. That was something actually triggered.
That was a trigger event. That's cool.
So not for the meek. You better be like level 25 and have a arm to the teeth. Have some fort bites.
Yeah, level 50 more like it these days.
Packed with fort bites.
Level 25 isn't what you remember it to be, Rick.
Well, that's true. We have another thing about progression is that we did scale the enemy health a little bit because we thought, as in general, it was a little bit too light. It didn't scale well with parties of like 2, 3, 4 people.
No, it was way too easy. So it's way more of a challenge now, and I think players are going to love it. And you know, the thing is, you're going to catch up to it. You might not be able to be doing tier 5s, you know, at level 25 anymore, but when you're level 50, yeah.
So this is meant to be a remnant skyscraper. If that makes sense. It doesn't make sense to people to think, well, remnant skyscraper, what's that? Well, basically it's something of size, but it's meant to be lower in performance than like a tier 5 skyscraper might be, like, or like that, you know, hotel we just looked at.
So these are actually really interesting. So what they've done to help the performance of playing 7 Days to Die is they've added in these remnants, which are actually tier 0s. So there's going to be no final loot in them. We used to have remnants in the game in the past, but most of them being taken out, but now they're adding new ones back in. So these are actually, they've put these in the downtown areas because they were having a lot of performance issues when you had like Dishong Tower and Higashi, and you had a lot of big tier 5 POIs in one area. So they've added in these big remnants around, which will have a lot less zombies. Like I said, there'll be no end loot in them and a lot less zombies in them, but the remnants in the past were actually really, really useful for making horde bases and stuff like that. So they've actually been set up in a way that you can actually use them as your own bases, but it's also just there to really help the performance of the game. So all of the big tier 5 and the new tier 5 POIs are just a little bit more spread out. So that's what they've done with these remnants, and they're looking really good.
Legendaries, yeah.
All right. So you guys have been asking for years and years now, when can we craft legendary items? Well, now you can. So the way we decided to approach this was very higher tier difficult quest. Either the trader reward or in loot chest rewards will offer you a one offer. It could possibly be a reward. You might find it. They're kind of rare, but it's a legendary crafting component.
So I'm really happy that they've added this to the game. So now we can actually make those legendaries, which are basically the tier 6s, into the game. Because they've said that they've brought down the trader rewards by quite a way, there's no chance of getting tier 6s now. Traders will not ever give you a reward of a tier 6, but we can now actually craft them. Apparently they are going to be quite hard to get, but we are going to be able to buy them from the traders. And to be honest, they're probably those kind of items that if you are lucky enough to find one out in the open world to begin with, you're probably going to keep hold of it, because there's no point making a stone shovel a tier 6. You're going to want to keep them for your weapons or your tools, like the pickaxe, the steel pickaxe, things like that, a little bit later on in the game. But at least we can make those legendary items now.
Its name is the Blue Mountain Installation. It's a tier 4. It's a wilderness POI. It's 100 by 100. You can see that. Look at that sculpting work done with the terrain tools, and Arrow's done some amazing work here, obviously. So this is a tier 4 awesome army camp. There's a bunker underneath. There's a mountain.
Is this spawned in random gen too?
Yeah, this is.
Wow. How do they? I can't even imagine how they put that in. It just fits right into a stamp?
It's a 100 by 100 wilderness district tile.
Yeah, I was just wondering how that mountain's seamlessly integrated with the random terrain mountain without having, but that's cool. They figured it out.
Yep.
So it looks a little bit like a red mesa with a mountain, which is kind of cool. I love that kind of stuff. Oh, look at that. He's got some triggering and some flashy red lights. What could go wrong?
Well done if you've made it this far in the video. I know there's a lot of information here, and we're jumping between my interpretations and I'm saying what the Fun Pimps have told us as well, because they do drag things out over a lot of time. But this is over 4 hours worth of dev streams. So please hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video so far. We've got a lot more to come. And also subscribe to the channel. Like I say, I will be doing early access, the streamer weekend for 7 Days to Die, and I've got all the dates for those coming up shortly. But I'm quite glad that they've added this one back in. The football stadium has been re-added to the game, so I'm really happy to see this one back in the game.
So what he says about this is called Bruno's Boulevard. It's a tier 0, so it's a remnant that's a 42. I like the pasta. Look at that pasta sign. That's cool. Sendex, or what I like to call Fed Up. Business trip comprised of a major shipping service, an Italian restaurant, modern hair salon, and a small tavern. Backstory. Bruno is the owner of the business trip and also runs his own Italian pasta restaurant in one of the spaces. When attending to business, he relaxes in his living quarters on the second floor above this restaurant.
Oh, that's right there.
Yeah. So watch out for Bruno. He sounds kind of creepy,
Right.
So this is a tier 4. It's 100 by 100 tier 4 refinery, and Yeah, it looks pretty darn cool. Got tractors, and he doesn't have a backstory, but you could make one up. Old Mole had a dream to drill it for oil, and he finally struck oil, and so he started this refinery. This is private
moles.
Private old moles.
I went to boot camp here. Fort Leonard Wood.
Fort Lost in the Wood.
Fort Lost in the Wood, Navigating.
For those of you who've been there, that's I have a son that was a Marine. That's what he called it. That's what the Marines would call it, Fort Lost in the Woods.
I went there in 1985, boot camp. So a bit of that.
So did Christian, your nephew. So
the exact same place. Awesome.
Yeah, for a while he went there, and they called it Fort Lost in the Woods.
So the Fun Pimps have added in all the voiceovers for all the different traders now. So now you won't get the same trader opening and closing. They've actually added in all the different voiceovers for them as well. Unfortunately, they did talk over quite a few of their sayings. We've only got Trader X that they've shown so far, but I'll quickly compile them together now for you to have a little listen.
Now that you did the job, I guess you ain't that damn bad.
So there's the nice thing too.
You better
can
take
ask them
this job
about these rumors, and they're going to basically
more of your bullshit.
Traders.
What are you standing there
There's a little bit of
Don't you have work to
rapport
do?
going on between.
You know the drill,
for
asshole.
a few.
I'd tell you to go fuck yourself, but you did that when you didn't buy anything.
We can get those.
Those are all randomized. And then there's a special reward sign too for when you graduate to the next tier. So make your final selections, get the F out, depending on whoever the trader is. Some of them are really nice about it, and Trader Rack how he is. But
So
it's pretty hilarious, though.
We're a little ahead of schedule. Yeah,
well, it is a monster truck. It's way bigger than the old one was.
See,
it's freaking huge.
And you can modify it and have your whole party jump in there and ride around.
Put the gas can mod on, and the front plow, and it seats 4 by default, and then 6 modded.
If you have the mod, you can seat 6, so a party of 6 can ride the wasteland.
So here they're showing off the new 4x4, and they actually go and show all of the new vehicles, which we'll be showing you in due course. They do call this one the monster truck, but it's actually the same 4x4. But the mods actually now change the way the vehicle actually looks, and the other good thing about it is they have a plow for the 4x4, and they also have, for the motorcycle, they actually have the spikes that were on the front of the old motorcycle, which means it actually takes less damage. So if you crash into stuff or you're running over zombies, your vehicle will take less damage, but you can actually see all the mods on the vehicles, which do actually look really, really good. So let's quickly go through them now.
Picking on our lane.
I know, it happens.
Oh.
Oh man.
There's a seat mod for that to expand it.
Pop the seat mod on. I haven't been able to craft one yet, so.
You want me to show it so you know if you want to use it or not? You're like, oh.
Yeah. There's a little bit of controversy over that seat.
Oh, we
tuned it. We tuned it down.
Well, it became a lawn chair because some people happen to be too cool for a toilet, so we thought that was kind of fun.
Oh, okay. So we got rid of
it's a lawn chair seat.
It still looks cool though.
It's still hillbilly, if you will, and it's fun.
Makeshift.
So look at that. You got a lawn chair on the back. You can drive around in style. You can.
We got custom animations coming for these too. You can see. So each.
Look at that.
It's not
well,
working right yet.
And
hands aren't on the handlebars, but when we get that fixed, it's gonna look great.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not the old one. I mean,
it is. Oh, 2-seater. Woo!
Look at that. 2 seats by default.
Does it
Dang.
work? I don't know, but
holy cow!
It will work.
It will work.
It's almost kind of intimidating. Look at that bad boy.
Just a little bit. Look at that front.
It's like
nice.
World War.
That's some
World War II nose of an old plane. They cut off.
Take that, Fallout. I love Fallout, by the way. You know.
Yeah, we're big fans of Fallout, obviously.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Let me
I can
see
fly
it. Well,
pretty
that's-
much anything.
I think.
Oh,
You're full
look at
of
that!
it.
Woo!
You're full of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna grab.
yeah,
What
right in the
could
pole.
go
Bam!
wrong?
Calm down. We're gonna make it.
Bam!
We're
What
gonna
could
make
go
it.
wrong?
Look,
You
I
can't
wanted to go
fly.
this way.
I'm not
You
playing
can't
co-op.
even-
I'm not
Listen.
getting in with him on that.
Listen, I just wanted to go east.
Hell no.
That was the quickest way to turn the thing around.
Mhm.
So look, we're going the right way now.
All right.
Don't you worry
so
about it. Look at us go,
Boy.
everybody.
You can
Smooth
flight.
roast
me about my gameplay skills, but I don't know if I'm not
I
playing
mean, I
with him
can't.
on that.
What happens if you press E?
Oh, I know what E does.
Let's
I know exactly
just
what
try.
that does.
Just wait. Get as high as you can and do it. Just like it's daunting to see what we've
Yeah,
done.
holy crap! How'd we do all that?
Okay, so a little bit of armor on there.
Nice.
Okay.
So that's where that goes.
Give that-
Yeah, look at that.
Extra chair.
Get that thing a tint too,
Okay. Oops.
or
Nice.
install
Tint
some
it a
more
little
mods.
bit, and we'll
It looks so much better modded out, fully modded.
supercharger.
Uh,
I don't even see where that went, but okay.
It puts a little piece on the engine, if I remember right.
Yep.
It shows
Oh.
something. Freaking sweet. And then headlight maybe.
Yeah, the light I didn't. Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, okay.
Light and a tent.
Nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
You even got Manny on there.
What
Yeah.
color you guys want?
Oh, we're getting ready to ditch it anyway.
Can we see
Wait.
what red looks? Let's see what red looks like.
Yeah.
Man, that looks so bad. Ass.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. Looks really good. Looks really good.
Who's gonna mess with you when you're on one of those?
And then obviously, so getting that first motorized vehicle
Look
is
at that thing.
is a huge
Yeah.
feather in your cap. But yeah, this looks amazing. They did a great job on it. It just everything's really leveled up. The vehicles represent how leveled up the entire game is now, in my opinion.
So there you go, showing all the vehicles in the game again. I think you'll agree they are looking a lot better than they did before. It was nice when they added the new vehicles, but now they've got them looking really good as well. I'm going to show you a couple of clips now of the new explosions in the game, which actually have collision in them as well. So you could actually get hit by debris and rocks and probably do you a lot of damage as well, but they're looking really good. So I'm going to whack in a couple of clips of those right now. Right, so we've got the dew collector up on the screen here. You can now make the dew collector with basic materials, and if you do that, it will make you murky water. But there is now 3 mods that we can add into it. The water filter, which is what we needed to build the dew collector in Alpha 21. You can add that as a mod now, and that will make clean drinking water. But you've got 2 other mods there as well. You've got the gatherer. If you add that into it, it will double the amount of drinking water or murky water, because you might get that one before the water filter. And you've got the tarp there as well, which doubles the speed of collecting the water. So just a quick little section there on the dew collector. Right now, so the video is starting to get really long. I was hoping I was going to be able to cut it down more than this, but like I say, it was 4 hours worth of dev streams and Q&As and bits and bobs like that. So up on the screen for you right now, we've got the new challenge system, which has got the basic, which is to teach you how to play the game. That's replaced the journal, and the advanced part as well. And the good thing about this is you get XP for doing it, but you don't need to do it in any particular order. So you've got like killing zombies, so you can just jump into the challenge system and have a look every now and again, and you'll be able to cash that in for some extra XP. Right, the most important things that we need to look at now is the dates of which this is going to be released. They're looking at the 21st of June for the streamer weekend. So that's in a couple of weeks' time. 21st of June is what they're looking at, unless there is some game-breaking bugs in the game. So 21st of June for the streamer weekend. Like I say, make sure you've subscribed to my channel and we'll be bringing you early access on that. And the console is July the 25th. Again, game-breaking bugs might change those dates slightly, but at the moment they're fully on course for that as well. So you've got basically 4 weeks in between the PC version being released and then the console version being released after that. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. You guys have a cracking day. Look after yourselves and I'll catch you in the next episode. Take it easy.